Gabby, in alignment with what we were just discussing, how do we know when we're holding something back from God?
That question was such a loaded one because when I really sat and started to think about it, it's like, what happens? And it can be something even as deep as refusing to pray for something because it's like you're afraid of the answer. So there's certain things that I'm like, all right, like I know, because sometimes we know.
Yep.
Sometimes we know that like our desires doesn't exactly correlate with God or where we want to be, or sometimes we can even get deep, like who we want to be with or, who we want in our circle, what jobs we want, what careers we want. We know that like sometimes no is the answer.
Yes.
So not fully surrendering can be holding something back from God. And how little are we to think that, oh, if I don't pray about it, God just won't do it anyway. Or God will say no. Oh, if I don't pray about it, he'll let me do it. It's like, in a way, it's like, why are we not praying about it?
Yeah.
And it's really, that's when you have to sit back and say like, okay, am I really surrendering my wants to God, or am I picking myself first? And that's a dangerous place to be because God always has it. It's like when Jonah didn't want to do something in the will of God. He's like, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm going over here. You always get that pushback. And it's like, then, your heart of hearts, you start getting the anxiety.
Yeah.
Then you start feeling uneasy. Everything you go about doing, things just start not working. It's like, why isn't this working out for me? Why isn't it? And then you hit in the back of your head, like, this is why I didn't pray. So it can look like not praying. It can look like, you're trying to manage things yourself. You're like, you know what, God, you're taking too long. Just going back to the process. It's like, you're taking too long. I prayed about this X, Y, and Z time ago. I prayed about this a month ago, a year ago, sometimes, 2, 3, 4 years. And it's like, oh, you're taking too long. I'm taking matters into my own hands. And sometimes that's a scary place to be because sometimes while, you're like, oh, God will never let, nothing bad happen to you. Sometimes he'll take his hands off.
Yep.
And he'll say, all right, go ahead, do what you want to do. And let's see how it works out. And then it's like that meme you see when you're just walking back towards God, like, all right, I tried it. And here I am, I'm back, because you realize that I really can't do this without you. So it's like, it looks as if you're doing things on your own, not surrendering. You're doing things on your own. You're not praying. You're not fasting. You're not reading your word again. And that's an interesting place to be because it's like, as Christians, we have that desire.
Yeah. And
you want that desire. But sometimes you get so caught up in your own desires and your own mind and your own wants that you don't realize, like, man, I've strayed far and I'm in my own will. And you never feel comfortable being in your own will. It always looks good at first because at first it's like, oh, I'm finally doing what I want to do. I'm finally getting what I want. Like, I prayed for it and it happened and you're thinking like, oh, okay, this is it. But then there's always that one little thing that happens that sets everything apart. So it's like, okay, yeah, let me get back on the well. And that's why that constant communication with God looks like, not surrendering. It's like you have to be in constant communication. And I think I was watching, I forgot what pastor, it might have been Pastor Philip Mitchell. I saw something that came up on social media once. Teacher, yeah. And he was encouraging. He's like, sometimes be vulnerable with God. It's like, sometimes it's like, I have this desire and I'm upset that you didn't give this to me. It goes back to the lamenting. God encourages us to lament.
Amen.
And people think that, because we're not, because we're Christian, we're not supposed to complain. No, it's natural. It's natural. Even when we don't get what we want, it's natural. God is our father. It's just the same way that you would complain to your earthly father, your earthly parent, or your earthly community. He wants that same courtesy. It's a relationship. He's not our master. He's our friend. He's our father. So he wants that from us. So it's like when we don't surrender, it's offending him. It's like that meme with the little girl holding the little teddy bear behind her back. Meme. And he's like, give it to me, trust me. And it's like, she's like, oh, I don't want to, but not knowing that there's something so much greater on the other side. All you have to do is relinquish your right and relinquish your want and desires. So yeah, that's what it looks like.
I love it. I love it. We have to have a heart posture of surrender. And we know we have surrendered when we're praying, we're in communication with God, when we're fasting, when we're seeking his will. I love, love, love the answer you gave. And as you were speaking, I was thinking about Proverbs 4, verse 23. And it says, watch over your heart with all diligence, for from it flows the springs of life. And another translation says, from it flows the issues of life. And then this issues word was perplexing me. So I did some research. And I saw that issues, it can mean outflows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries or directions of life.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I love what this author wrote because they said, your heart is the source, but your life is the stream.